Hello everyone, I'm Vijay from GMR Infotech. On the onset, let me thank Sterlingbank for giving us an opportunity to participate in your RFP process for transforming your core banking system. It's a privilege to be part of this process, and today it's my duty to take you through the salient features of the application, the solutions that we have proposed to Sterlingbank in response to the RFP which was submitted as per the dates communicated to us. Over the next 1 hour or so, I will take you through a very brief profile of JMR Infotech, who we are, what we do, and a detailed, I should not say detailed, but a very high level introduction to the capabilities of the applications that we have suggested in response to the RFP. We bring to you the best in breed applications from Oracle stack, and Oracle, as all of us know, is the largest application as well as now the hardware providing company in the world. I'm sure as we go along in this evaluation process, we will have more and more opportunities to showcase you the fine and deeper functionalities, the capabilities of the systems that we are proposing. So without taking any further time, let me move on to the presentation for the day, and I will begin with the agenda for today, and then we will take it forward from there. Let me very quickly take you through the agenda for the presentation. I'll begin with a very brief profile of JMR Infotech and Oracle, which all of you must be very well aware of. And then we straight away move into the solution landscape and capabilities of each of the solutions that we have proposed as in response to the RFP. The two basic solutions that we are bringing to you are Oracle FlexCube Universal Banking Solution and Oracle Financial Services Analytics Application, which we also call as OFSA in short. And we will close our presentation with highlighting the value proposition that JMR brings to all of its partners. Talking about JMR Infotech, we are the world's only Oracle Platinum partner with financial services vertical of Oracle, and come with FlexCube product suite specialization. Oracle rates its partners at various levels, and as we said, we are the only partner with the financial services vertical to be at the platinum level. Sorry. Talking about the company, we were established in 1997, and as I talk to you today, we have more than 75 plus clients in the banking and financial services domain, and more than 350 plus 15 plus employees in the group worldwide. Our philosophy or delivery philosophy is very simple, which is global delivery through local presence, and wherever we are unable to be present, we partner with some of the very big names in consulting and system integration space like IBM, HCL, Keen Incorporated is a big company in the US. As far as our financials are concerned, last year we did a turnover of close to 25 million USD, and in the coming years we hope to double this value through servicing more and more clients across more and more geographies. This is just a sample of one of our offices worldwide. As you can see, we are present locally in Nigeria since 2012, which ensures that our clients get local support at a cost and place which is very, very convenient to you. In a nutshell, what do? We build, run and grow the entire banking technology landscape for our customers who are only in the banking and financial services domain. The only business we do is BFSI. This is the only business we know. This is the business we excel in, and we bring the best of breed technological solutions as well as application solutions to our partners in this space. talking about the applications that we specialize in, we cover the entire gambit of applications, right from universal banking to channel banking. When I say channel banking, I basically mean internet banking, mobile banking, SMS banking and stuff like that. We also have a practice in Islamic banking. The entire analytics space, compliance and risk is another offering that we make to our clients across the world. And we also have niche offerings again from the Oracle stack in areas like treasury, customer relation management, investment banking and private banking. We sell, implement and end-to-end support all these applications. That, ladies and gentlemen, were a nutshell in what JMR is and what do we do. As we move along in this engagement, probably we'll have more occasions to present our credentials to you. That brings me to the company whose applications or whose solutions we bring to our esteemed clients, and that is Oracle. I'm sure all of you have touched base with Oracle at some point in time, and very briefly I'll take you through why do we work with Oracle. Oracle is the #1 company in the financial services domain, and their financial services vertical itself has more than 11,000 staff, and they spend more than $12 billion in R&D so that their customers get the best of breed solutions. They are present in 145 countries with over 9,000 or close to 10,000 customers, and their solutions are always open-ended so that new products, new modules can be easily added. Oracle supports multiple channels both for sales, services, and all these channels, they are come pre-integrated with core banking system. Oracle offers the complete end-to-end risk and performance management solution. We will talk about OFSA as part of our solution offering for this engagement, and this application takes care of your very, very critical business operations like anti-money laundering and fraud prevention. The service-oriented architecture makes FlexCube or Oracle products very easy to integrate with any other third-party system which might reside in your technology landscape. And the solutions from Oracle, they are compliant with multi-caps, compliant with IFRS, and help you to process your transactions, to process your financial statements in multiple modes. The solution, the core banking solution, which is FlexCube, about which I will be talking about in the rest of my presentation, has been ranked consistently as the #1 selling core banking solution, core banking product across the world. And over the last 2 years, it has also won certifications from Swift for being Swift ready, and won the Banking Technology Reader's Choice Award last year. That is the product, that is the credential of the product that we bring to you. Just to show you where all this investment is going and how the product is evolving, so that you have the comfort that in the coming years as well, the product will keep on adding more and more functionalities to cater to any of the new needs that the banks around the world might have. In 1997, the FlexCube product had footprint in 18 countries and had 33 clients. By the end of 2012, the footprint had exceeded to 137 countries and 468 clients. So you should have the comfort that you are using something which about 500 other customers across the world are using. And on the the growth of the product side, in 97, or when the product started, it hardly had retail banking, universal banking and investor servicing. But over a last period of time, if you could see, they have added direct banking, which is basically channel banking, internet and mobile lending and leasing, wealth management, exposure management, origination, mortgages. So every year something or the other keeps getting added to the product functionality. All clients of Oracle, they get the benefit of the investments that Oracle makes in this product as they keep on getting new releases of the product and move from one version to the other. Just to give you an idea that if you deploy FlexCube, what is the company that you will be getting across all the segments. We have just put up some of the top banks which use FlexCube. For international operations, Ecobank in Africa and Citi across the globe. These are multi-country rollouts working on FlexCube. Very big banks like HDFC Bank in India, which has a customer base of more than 20 million customers, uses FlexCube. You have banks like Ubank, which do not have any physical infrastructure. They are purely virtual banks. Then you have Islamic banks. So it is one platform on which you can run both the conventional banking as well as in Islamic banking operations. This was only to give you a background about the applications that we have brought to you. Let me now take you through the features of Oracle's FlexCube Universal Banking System, the system that we will be implementing at Sterlingbank in Nigeria. Let me begin by taking you through the key differentiators, and then we will discuss about these differentiators in the following slides. The system is a multi-function system. When I say multi-function, it means it is a multi-currency, multi-language, multi-channel, multi-branch, multi-entity system. The system has extensive reporting and statement generation capabilities. You can generate statements, advise. It will also take care of your regulatory reportings. The system comes with a very robust security management system so that the financial data of the clients is not compromised. The system has a very dedicated audit trail and controls parameters, and you can manage the accessibility levels of the systems through a user interface. The information can be configured on a need to know basis, and all the users get to see only what they are supposed to know. The system also offers many options in terms of deployment, so that the bank can decide at its own pace in how many branches, in how many geographies it wants to deploy it. So you can have a phased approach of deployment to meet your business requirements. You can have multi-currency branches configured in the one installation itself, so the system is capable of servicing your various subsidiaries, various legal entities across different geographies from one single application. FlexCube has the cutting edge technology. It uses the latest technology available, and it is a open sourced service oriented architecture based application which helps it to interface flexibly with any other third party system. So if the bank is using any other systems and it does not want to retire those systems when it brings in a new core banking system, it will not face any problem in integrating the existing applications in its technology landscape with the core banking system, which in this case happens to be FlexCube. As the bank grows, so would its needs in terms of volume of business that it handles, the number of customers that it handles. So the system is linearly and horizontally scalable. You need not change any application, just add a little more hardware and the system will perform or to cater to your growing business requirements. If you see the other features of the product, and those features are being discussed in the following slides. We will talk about the parameterization functions, the customer centricity, the sophisticated limits management, so on and so forth. And all these are the various modules of this application. This application is a modular application. You can decide which business functionality you want to start with, and then as your business grows, you can keep on adding more and more modules of the application into your day-to-day use. Let me talk about its most distinctive feature, which is extensive parameterization. The entire system is configurable. You can create your branch structures, you can create your chart of accounts, you can create your interest rate codes and exchange rates. The idea is that the bank should have complete control over how it runs its IT infrastructure, how it runs its businesses. There is no business logic which needs to be written by the product vendor or the product manufacturer to meet your business requirements. You can use the strength of the system through parameterization to achieve your business requirements. For example, if you want to open a new branch, all you need to do is go into the system and create a new branch using the user interface. Let's say you are getting into a new line of business and you want to track that new line of business under a new general ledger. All you need to do is go to the general ledger definition screen and create a new general ledger to which this new line of business should report. Because of its extensive parameterization facilities, the system allows you the flexibility to rapidly launch new products. Because to launch a product, all you have to do is go to the product definition screens, set up the parameters applicable to that product, and you are ready to go. You need not come back to the product vendor. When I say product vendor, I mean Oracle, to make any changes. All your business requirements can be met just by setting up some parameters through intuitive user interface screens. While creating a product, you can define what are the facilities that a product can have. Let me take an example of a savings bank product. You can say whether a particular savings bank product should have checkbooks, ATM access, internet access, IVR access, so on and so forth. All these are the features of the product. You can decide what are the prices, what are the service charges which should be levied for a particular product. You can have different products targeted at different segments of your business customers. You can have a product targeted purely as high net worth individuals. You can have a product which is targeted at the lower end of your lower end of the business accounts, and you can price these offerings differently. You can define the accounting rules, you can define operation controls, you can define what kind of reports you want, and all this through one simple user interface UI screen. With FlexCube, you can achieve a high degree of state-through processing. Let me take an example of an incoming Swift message. The message will be received in an incoming message browser. This message will be automatically uploaded into FlexCube. It will be validated and the transaction will be posted to the customer account, and all this will happen without any manual intervention. All you need to do is set the rules one time for any incoming message to be processed. What are the validations that should happen? Once the message is processed, the system will also automatically generate the standard messages, the Swift messages which need to be sent out. Let's say a credit confirmation advice to the customer, and all this without any human intervention. In FlexCube, the center of every transaction is a customer. You can track customer for his accounts. The system gives you a 360-degree view of each and every customer. You can see what are the deposits that the customer has, what are his loans that he is carrying with the bank, who is the relationship manager for this customer, what kind of payment transaction he makes, does he has any business interest, if yes, what are the trade finance transactions that he does with the bank, what are the forex transactions, money market transactions, derivative transactions, so on and so forth. All transactions that a customer does can be tracked at one place, and you get to see it through again a very simple screen. The underlying message is that with FlexCube, you do not need a separate CRM system, you do not need a separate customer relationship management system, because all the business requirements like profitability per customer, what is the exposure per customers, how effectively the funds of a customer are being managed, what are the different facilities that a customer has, all these business requirements are met through FlexCube. FlexCube comes with an integrated credit limit management module of its own. This module helps you to track online real-time exposure of all the customers or entities. When I say customer, it could be an individual customer, it could be a retail customer, a corporate customer, or it could even be a group of customers. Let us take an example that you have a very big business house who has multiple companies, and you want to grant facilities to the group and not to individual entities. The system supports these kind of transactions. The system also supports various collateral types to be linked to facilities which are granted, and you can have one collateral which is linked to multiple facilities or multiple collaterals linked to a single facility. In short, the collateral management module of FlexCube helps you to maintain one-to-many, one-to-one and many-to-one relationships. These collaterals are attached to different credit lines. I could have a credit line for working finance, working capital finance, or long-term loans, or short-term overdrafts. All these are together managed from one single place. What this means is that at any given point in time we know and we can control the overall exposure that the bank carries for a particular customer. These exposures can also be in multiple currencies and across multiple business units. So I could be having one facility in Nigerian Naira and another facility in USD, and I don't need different systems to process this because of this system's multi-currency capabilities. A very important feature of the product is the support for relationship pricing. This is something where a bank differentiates its offering based on the relationship that a customer has with the bank. Let me take a very simple example. Let's say a Sterlingbank has an auto loan product which it prices at 16% per annum. Now this is the base rate, this is the standard rate on which every customer is eligible to take loan. But what if your most important customer walks in and says, I want this loan, but can you give me any discount on your base rate? I'm sure even today you must be handling these situations on an intuitive basis. But do you know, if I give 1% discount to the customer, am I really breaking even on this product, or am I really breaking even on this customer? That is where relationship pricing comes into play. Relationship pricing helps you to evaluate customer on his loyalty, the total revenue that the bank achieves through a customer, thus enabling you to maximize revenue from each customer, and you can also custom make offerings to each and every customer of your bank. You can offer them higher rates on deposits, you can offer them lower rates on loans and other lending products. You can offer them better prices on, let's say, third-party products. If you sell mutual funds or insurance, you can offer them these products on lesser commission, all based on the overall relationship that a customer keeps with the bank. FlexCube comes with its own integrated journal ledger module. This module helps you to configure multi-currency journal ledgers, where you can pass a transaction in any currency that you have configured. It comes with tools for reconciliations across different systems. If you have, you can define your own accounting rules and accounting heads, and the system will basically mirror whatever chart of accounts you are currently using. You can use this module for internal reporting as well as for regulatory reporting, and to prepare your financial statements like journal ledger, balance sheet and profit and loss account. You can track the balances at a branch level, at head office level, at product level, and n level of granularity, data granularity is available in this module. With FlexCube General Ledger module operational, and if all the transactions are done through the system, the bank would not require any other enterprise wide GL system for reporting. Because of all the data that it captures, the system comes with a very comprehensive MIS system. FlexCube out of the box gives you 600 and plus reports. These reports can be segmented based either on customers or transactions or the business divisions that the bank has. You can also get multi-dimensional reports, for example segmentation by industry, or what is the efficiency of an account officer. These are just some of the examples of the reports that the system comes pre-shipped with. In addition to these, the bank can use any of the standard reporting tools to generate reports on their own, because FlexCube comes with a very detailed data dictionary which helps you to identify the data elements that you would like to report for whatever purposes. On top of it, as implementation partners, if there are any custom reports that the bank wants, we will deliver it as part of the implementation without any extra effort on part of the bank. In addition to the reporting for internal purposes or regulatory purposes, the system also has the capacity for generating customer statements, customer advices. These advices could be frequency based. For example, account statement to be sent to a customer every quarter or every month. They could even be ad hoc statements. Someone walks into the branch and says, I want my account statement. So the system is geared up to take care of all such requirements. It also has something based on events. For example, every time there is a default by a customer in his loan repayment. Now this loan repayment is an event. Whenever there is a default or whenever this event is successfully done, we can configure to say whether a certain advice should be generated and sent to the customer or not, and you can send these advices through multiple channels. It could be email or it could be a physical copy. Let me now talk about the key features of the branch module of FlexCube. When I say branch module, it is basically what your tellers at the branches would have access to. Some of the features that we saw in the preceding slides were more applicable to the head office users or center or non-branch users. Now these are the features which your tellers day in and day out would be using. On the cash management side, the system provides you with vault management, till management, document tracking, handling shortage or overage of the cash, and cash balancing. The tellers at the branch would typically use transactions like cash deposits, cash withdrawals, taking requests from walk-in customers for remittances or issue of instruments. They will also have to take care of lot of queries. For all such kind of transactions, there are dedicated screens available to the tellers to take care of all the transactions that a branch typically does in a day-to-day function. And to help the teller become more of an knowledge worker, the user interface of FlexCube is nano driven. The user can go directly to a particular screen by typing in what we call is at a fast path, and he can has the help of a list of values and other features to help him efficiently do his or her job. The business flow is configurable. So FlexCube also offers you the facility to configure workflows for a particular transaction. For example, this is just a transaction workflow for an account currency or somebody wanting to deposit let's say some cash into his or her account. FlexCube allows you to input and then validate, check, and if overrides are required, that is multiple levels of approval are required, that can be configured before a transaction is finally reflected into the customer account. Now, for example, the bank can set up that if the transaction amount is greater than 100, then it has to go through a next level of approval. Now, that next level of approval, unless he approves this transaction, the transaction will not get posted. Another example is that a customer of branch 1 can walk into branch B and say, I want to do a transaction. You can have branch wise limits, that the customers at the base branch can do transactions without limit, but customers at a non-base branch will be allowed to do transactions only up to a certain limit. So those kinds of limits, those kinds of checks and balances is something that the bank can themselves configure to meet their business rules, to meet their business requirements. The application comes with rich dashboards for the tellers, which would help them to prioritize their work, which will tell them, which will guide them to say what all pending work is there in their queue, and they can segregate their tasks. They can also search for the various tasks based on its status and its reference numbers. So, for example, if a teller wants to know what is the status of a cash deposit which required supervisor approval, has it been approved or not, he can get into the system, input the reference number for a particular transaction, and the system will show him the status for that particular transaction. The bottom line is that the system helps the user at every stage to find out answers which are typically asked for by the customers walking into the branch related to their transactions. To better handle a customer, as I was saying earlier, the entire application is revolving around customer centricity. Every customer can be seen through something we call as a customer session. This gives you the 360-degree view of the customer. For example, in this screenshot, if you look at your left hand side, when you put in the customer name in the screen, you can see his photograph, you can see his signatures, you can see his address and date of birth, what are all the different accounts and balances in each and every account that the customer maintains. So from a single screen, you get a 360-degree view of the customer's relationship with the bank. Now let me talk about the lending module. This is one of the very critical modules which supports the entire income generating business of the bank, called as lending. The system supports end-to-end lending operations, right from the time of acquisition of the business till the time the particular loan account or a facility is closed. We talked about definition of products earlier. You can define products, you can define the various price points for different products, set up operational controls, and get into a workflow. The system will take a... Okay, so let me talk about the lending support in FlexCube. FlexCube is an end-to-end lending suite, right from the time of acquisition of new business till the time a loan account is closed, uh, either normally on repayment, or as a part of collections process, where the bank is forced to forego whatever loan it has given. A loan goes through various stages within FlexCube. We call it as an acquisition stage, an initiation stage, servicing, payments and settlements, and the tracking stages. During acquisition, we can do activities like KYC check for the customer, the credit scoring, evaluation, and getting the agreements from the customer signed. When we say initiation, we are basically talking about simulations based on the customer requirements and getting the commitment from the customer. After these stages, the loan gets disbursed, which we in FlexCube terminology we call as booking. This is where we set up the schedules based on which the customer has to repay, and also decide whether the disbursement has to be done manually or it has to be done automatically. Once an account gets disbursed, then we start with the life cycle. During the life cycle of a loan account, we will do activities like interest processing, charging of fees and other charges. If it is a floating rate loan, there could be rate revisions during the term of the loan, and there could be requirements when we are supposed to do some amendments with a backdate. All these kind of transactions are supported in FlexCube. FlexCube also supports all the repayments, even prepayments. These repayments can come in through multiple channels like SWIFT, which is basically coming from abroad, or other banks. Basically, the different modules of FlexCube are integrated. So the payments module talks to the lending module, and it can handle payments which are coming from the outside. Now, if a customer is not making any payments, then you have to have a very proper tracking mechanism to find out if a customer will become bad, if he has missed some transactions, what is the penalty to be charged, how the penalty will be computed. If customer does not make payments for a longer period of time, then we have to make provisions. If it becomes even worse, then you have to renegotiate with the customer and probably restructure a loan, or write off a loan, or take it through the collections process and a legal process. All these transactions are supported by FlexCube. Let me talk a little more in detail about the kind of repayments that FlexCube supports. FlexCube supports balloon payments, which basically means that the customer does not pay anything or pays only interest during the term of the loan, and then makes a lump sum payment towards the end of the loan. System has the capability to generate separate schedules for principal and interest. You could have the most commonly used repayment method, which is equated monthly installments, and other types which are supported by the system are Rule of 78, step up and step down, and even user defined schedules are supported by the system. Similarly, the repayments system supports payment schedules with moratorium period and holiday period, and also where there is multiple rate changes during the term of the loan. This would typically happen when a loan is on a floating rate and periodically, as the market interest rate changes, the same needs to be reflected in the customer account as well. We talked about the status tracking or the non-performing asset management. The system has comprehensive capabilities of tracking a loan account. You can define within how many days what the status of the account should be. For example, in the every loan begins as a normal loan. Let's say after 60 days it moves to the overdue bucket. After 180 days overdue, it has to move to the non-performing bucket, and if it remains still overdue, after some amount of a period of time, we have to write off the loan. So you can write your own rules within the application based on your regulatory environment, based on your internal guidelines, and the account will be tracked on a daily basis. The system also allows you to send customer notifications and also levy charges based on the status. No lending system is complete without the support for collections, and Oracle FlexCube comes with an extensive support for collections function. We support queue derivation and agent allocation. We support processing based on statuses, in which case you can also compute agent commissions, and we also support interaction and action recording with the customer. When an agent gets in touch with a customer, he can record promise to pay. Once a promise is to pay is broken, the system will also keep a track of such broken promises, and the bank can charge the customer for broken promises fees. All these functionalities, all these business requirements are catered to by FlexCube. Let me now talk about the funds transfer module of FlexCube. FlexCube supports both incoming and outgoing funds transfers as well as internal fund transfers. When I say internal fund transfer, it means where both accounts are within the same bank. The instruments which are supported are bankers' checks, bank transfers, online bank transfers through RTGS or any other electronic channel. We have the SWIFT funds transfers also, and the FlexCube also supports multi-credit transfers, which basically means you debit one account and credit multiple other accounts. These transfers could be in cross currency, they could be future dated or back dated. So FlexCube supports both future dated as well as back dated transactions. And if any transaction has to be accompanied with a message, the system is capable of generating those messages as well. While doing a transaction, the system can check whether the customer is in a blacklisted customer, what are the anti-money laundering threshold, what are the accounting entries which are to be passed, in which branch these entries should be passed. If it is a holiday in one branch and a working day in another branch, the system can handle even these kind of transactions. Last but not the least is the extensibility feature of FlexCube. With the latest version of FlexCube, FlexCube now offers complete freedom to banks to run or to enhance their version of FlexCube, if I may say. If there is a business requirement which the bank feels FlexCube does not support out of the box, it can write its own code on top of FlexCube and meet that business requirement. The message is that for your day-to-day customizations, you need not go back to Oracle, which will, one, cost you money, two, might take a while. You can do all of this on your own. So the customization also, the coding flexibility also is now available with the banks, which helps them to reduce cost and quickly meet their customization requirements. The important point about the extensibility feature of FlexCube is that whatever customizations you do on your own can be taken forward when you move from one version of the application to the next version. So let's say we start at version 12 today, and 5 years down the line, 7 years down the line, the bank wants to upgrade to version 15 or 16, whatever is available at that point in time. You need not worry that what will happen to all my customizations which we have done ourselves. This customization layer will be moved as it is to be and will be compatible with a future version of FlexCube. Before I wrap up this session about the key features about FlexCube, let me just take you through what are the how does FlexCube help a banker. If you are the end user, you have support for browser-based user interface. You can select your language preferences, even screen colors, and this application is workflow enabled for speedy transaction input. From the accounting perspective, you have an online real-time accounting. Entire accounting process is automated with the flexibility to pass manual adjustment entries if required. You can do your entire financial reporting through FlexCube, and you can also have ad hoc reports if you want to. From the business manager perspective, the solution gives you the flexibility to launch products very quickly. You can define your own products, and you can also define your product related compliance requirements, and you can generate reports to show how profitable a particular product line has been. For the compliance department, the FlexCube gives you the surety that the information which is there is secure. You have extensive audit trail for all the transactions which are done in the system, and the system helps you to comply with know your customers and anti-money laundering requirements. You can also generate your regulatory reporting through the application. For the top management, it gives you the flexibility. You can decide how much I want to invest at a particular point in time, what are the most pressing business requirements that we want to make, and choose a platform which is easily scalable and into which you can add more and more business functionality at any given point in time. The application gives you a superior total cost of ownership over a longer period of time. For the IT department, guys, again, you need not sit down all your night to say whether my end of day functions have sorry for that, have finished or not. The application has an automated end of day activity. All your IT operations can be centralized at one place, and the application works on very low hardware infrastructure requirements. Let me now move over to another application which we are proposing as part of this engagement, what we call as Oracle Financial Services Analytics Application, or OFSA. This is basically to take care of your risk related requirements which were part of the RFP, and we will spend very little time on this one because we can always do a detailed POC or a product walkthrough whenever you want during the evaluation process. Very briefly, let me take you through why this platform is important and how it happens. If I look at many of the banks or the experiences of many of our customers, the requirements, let's say in terms of asset liability management, would fall in the domain of finance, and finance would go ahead and look for an application on its own. Let's say risk management is part of the risk department, and if they want an application or a solution for their requirements, they will go and pick up their own solution. The result was that you end up using multiple applications which basically use more or less the same data sources. And we have had experiences where same bank has reported different figures to the regulator because those figures came from different applications and they came from different departments. Now, we can imagine how embarrassing such a situation could be. So what is the solution? The solution is OFSA. It is an integrated platform which takes care of your risk management, of your capital management, of your performance management and finance functions, of your regulatory compliance in terms of financial crime, and also customer insight. These are all various modules of this application, and again, because more or less the data, as you see in the middle part of this image, the data requirements are quite overlapping. So you can have one consolidated data source from which all the various functional units will report, all the various functional units will track their customers. Now, talking about the functional reach, when I say risk management, the system offers a complete solution for your credit risk, market risk, asset liability management, counterparty risk, liquidity risk, so on and so forth. When I talk about performance management, the system provides solutions for profitability management, funds transfer pricing within the bank, and your balance sheet planning. The system supports IFRS 9 and IAS 32 and 39 guidelines. It helps you to find out your risk adjusted performance. For those of you in the risk department who want to do stress testing, who want to compute the risk appetite based on ICAP, who want to have risk models and test different risk models, you can create your own risk models within the application and and use them for your analysis and reporting functions. On a very broad level, the basic differentiators of OFSA are that one, it is a modular system. It gives you unified data model, so there is no need for you to have duplicate data, triplicate data within the bank. And you can configure your own rules and wizards using the rules framework of the bank. Other than that, because at the end of the day it's all about data analysis, you need to extract data from various other sources until you move on to the OFSA platform. So the system gives you an extraction, transformation and uploading tool, ETL tool as we call it, to do this activity in an efficient way. The other basic features of the product are that it comes with pre-structured and pre-packaged computational engines, and these are configured to meet national discretions and bank's additional requirements. The system comes with a very extensive reporting options. You can generate and create your reports in Excel, PDF, text files and even XML file formats, and you can export these reports and share these reports with others as well. Obviously, the system supports multiple currencies and multiple jurisdictions. These are just some of the. Let me show you some of the snapshots of reports which can be generated from our data analytics application. This is just an example of, let's say, NPA based reports. We can report non-performing assets by status and different business segments. We can have the product wise delinquency for any given financial year. We can have the total NPA status for the entire organization. So this is just a snapshot of the reporting capabilities of the application, because we believe that analytics is at the heart of achieving enhanced customer insights and more efficient business processes. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the essence or the core of the applications that we have proposed in response to your RFP. And before I close this session, let me very quickly take you through the value proposition that JMR Infotech brings to all its clients. At the heart of our engagement model is something we call as an extended arm engagement model. This is a customer-centric model which brings in the best of insourcing and outsourcing models. We cover both run the business and grow the business activity for our partners, for our clients, and we assure you enhanced productivity and comprehensive coverage, business coverage as well as technology coverage. We help you to roll out products and services at a very quick time because we know there's applications inside out, and we also bring with ourselves the institutional knowledge of global best practices which we have picked up while doing projects around the globe. Our commitment is to deploy highly competent, committed and experienced technical and functional resources, and that too at a very reasonable cost so that you get value for every dollar that you spend on the project. We come with an assurance of effective engagement management. Very senior people within the organization are assigned to each project. This ensures that any problem if we face during the project or in the engagement is escalated to the highest levels within the company at the earliest, and the client does not get lost into the bureaucratic maze of not knowing whom to contact, when to contact, and gets the results pretty quickly. All our projects, we measure them on various parameters, and we share those analyses with the client so that everyone has a very transparent idea about how the project was run, what were the objectives, what were the outcomes, and how the money was spent, and whether we drew the value from the project that we intended to. We also have a very robust knowledge management system whereby whatever knowledge of the application we have, we try to pass it on to the end clients so that they are become independent in a short period of time, and this also helps us to ensure quality delivery in all our projects, in all our engagements. We have a very strong version control system to ensure that whatever work we do is tracked and controlled so that at any point in time we know what was the last version of any document, any communication, and also the code, source code that we deploy at customer locations. We do believe that working with banks and financial institutions, we are dealing in very sensitive information with sensitive data which we might come to know during our engagements. So we follow a very strict data security policy. Information even within the organization, even within the project teams, is strictly on a need to know basis, and we ensure that no data from the customer is ever compromised. In our post-life support, we have service level agreement driven matrices so that the customer knows upfront that what value or what services he will get and at what time. Anything which goes beyond SLA has an internal mechanism of escalation, and as I was saying earlier, since very senior people are involved in all our engagements, the customer can rest assured that their concerns are taken care of at the earliest. This, ladies and gentlemen, is all that we have to offer as part of our RFP response. As the process continues, we'll be too happy to come and share with you more detailed functionality of the applications that we have proposed, and also share with you the many testimonials of our other clients both within and outside the region. Thank you very much for your time.